Hey guys, welcome back. It's Katie Reed. Welcome to the third video in our series about choosing the perfect niche for your therapy practice. Now, if you have not seen the first two videos, you have to go watch those. That is the meat of this process of choosing your niche. So definitely go watch those first and then meet us back over here. Today we are going to talk about the final step in the process, which is the letter E for economics. Let's get a little bit real about the realities of our niches. I'm Katie Reed. I'm a therapist just like you, and I'm also a marketing strategist for therapists who want to grow and then outgrow their private practices. I hope you'll join me here every single week for more practice building information. So we're going to talk first about the economics of the niche that you're playing with that maybe you've chosen over these past couple weeks. And then we're going to get into some of the really common questions I get all the time, like, what if I have more than one niche? So stick around for that. So the last part of our niche equation is the letter E for economics. So I always feel a little bit gauche, I don't know, talking about economics as it relates to our niche, because of course, none of us really got into this field thinking, I'll be a millionaire, I'll be a therapist. Like, it's just not the reality, right? And so thinking about economics can be tricky, but here's the thing. Let's say you've gone through this process the last couple weeks and you've realized that the dream in your heart is really only to help foster care kids aging out of the system when they turn 18 and all these services are taken away from them. And that is your heart and that is your passion and that is what's interesting to you and that's what you want to do. But you also need to make $100,000 a year to maintain the life that you want to maintain, to live where you live, all of those things. Now we see where this niche is not going to be the just right niche. Here's the problem. We need a niche that actually sustains the life we want to have. Now, there are ways to manage this. So let's say your real passion are the foster care kids aging out and they have no money. So obviously you can always hold open some very low fee slots, some pro bono slots. But you're going to have to think carefully about, okay, how do I balance that? How do I balance that in terms of my time? Maybe you have a secondary niche that makes up the bulk of your income, and that niche happens to be people who are a lot wealthier, who can afford your private pay fee, who can pay you well for your time. Maybe you balance that because you outgrow your office. Maybe you start doing coaching, consulting, you build an online course, you do the things that can really subsidize your life, can really give you that sustainable life that you need to be able to stay as a helping professional, and that still allows you then the time for these people that you really deeply care about, that you deeply love. People who are economically disadvantaged are found everywhere. Single moms, people coming off the streets, people coming out of homelessness, people getting sober maybe for the first time. There are so many different groups of people that we've all usually worked with, at least in our early years, that we adore and that we have really meaningful connections with. And none of us as helpers want to let that go, but all of us, to be able to stay in the field, we need to sustain ourselves economically. There's just a reality to that. And I honestly feel like it's your responsibility to make sure that you are making enough money that you can stay in the mental health world for the long run, because we need you in the mental health world for the long run. Like, we need your strengths, we need your empathy, we need your compassion, we need you not ducking out of the profession because you're broke and burned out. And you and I both know it happens all the time. So really, I want you to look deeply at the economics of your niche, figure out, how do I balance my heart and what I love with the paycheck that I need to be able to create and make for myself? And drop below, is your niche and your economic situation, are they aligned? Will they work well together? For some people, you might have a partner who pays most of the bills. And so you're like, I don't actually need to make that much. Like, we're fine. If I just make 20, 30K a year, we'll be great. And maybe that's perfect for where you are. And that's great. And then some of you are like, oh no, I'm a single parent myself, and I need to make good money to be able to sustain all these bills that I have for my kiddos. So just think deeply about it and drop below in the comments, are yours in alignment? Do you need help bringing them into alignment? Let me know. I promised you I would answer a couple of these really common questions. One is, people are scared. You might be feeling scared that if you choose a niche, you're going to be bored all day. So here's the thing. Choosing a niche does not mean these will be your only clients forever. And I promise you, there's nobody out there with an entire caseload of just people with the exact same problem. There's not. Nobody gets bored. And in fact, if you've chosen wisely, then you've chosen a niche that's sort of endlessly fascinating to you. You love seeing how this issue, this problem plays out in different lives, plays out in the different ways that your clients experience it, and you will not get bored. But the reality is, even clients within your niche, they refer their friends, they refer their family. You end up with a diverse group of clients no matter what. So please don't let that one scare you too much. Okay, now the second question that I get a lot is, but what if I have a bunch of niches? What if I'm interested in everything? This is awesome, and I love this. I would suggest at any given moment in your life, in your private practice, I want you to think about narrowing down to no more than 2. And a lot of people will tell you just have 1 to grow the most quickly, and I do agree with that. But if your heart is like, but I need these 2, I absolutely think you can have 2 niches. The way some therapists break this down, this might be their niche with couples and their niche with individuals, their niche with teens and their niche with children. Now, again, couples is not a niche. Individuals is not a niche. Individuals with panic attacks is a niche. Couples on the brink of divorce is a niche. Like, we would still need to break down within those broad strokes what your actual niches are within there. But I believe you can have 2. I would give each of them a dedicated page on your website. It's not only good for your SEO, but it gives them something to read that's really targeted and really speaks right to them, and you want that. So definitely break it down, make it super clear for them exactly who you serve in each of these niches. But yes, I 100% think it can be done. Next week, I'm going to come back with a bonus video where I answer a few more of these lingering sort of FAQ questions I get all the time about niches. In the meantime, I'm Katie Reed. You know where to find me. Subscribe here. Go on over to Facebook and join my big free group over there, the Therapreneurs. Post your questions anytime. I'm over there answering them. And please, by all means, visit me at my website and download all the freebies that are sitting there waiting for you at katiereed.com. Thank you for joining us for this niche series. You have one more bonus video to come. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this and you want more, check out my website at katiereed.com. And remember, it's read spelled like read a book, R-E-A-D. And also check out these other great therapist marketing videos and hit subscribe so that you never miss a new little tidbit coming your way every single week to grow your practice.